Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to sisi, the test server for EVE Online. So we're gonna do another mass test today. The aim of the mass test was to do some testing on the stability of the client, because if I read it correctly, CCB has done some backend changes in this build about how the item types are stored or something like that, and they want to see how that affects stability. So that's mainly why we are here. Now, patching and all of that went pretty smoothly. I did have a pretty weird experience when I first logged in here for the mass test. For some reason, I got like 200 frames per second when I undocked, and I managed to maintain that in the warp as well. But somehow I started shooting fireworks, and I noticed that I still had the camera shake on. So I went to the escape menu, I deactivated the camera shake, and then my frames per second was once again limited to 60. So I'm not sure what happened there, but it was a little bit weird. Although, to be honest, it didn't feel like it was any different from what I'm seeing at the moment. So it's possible that it was just something that glitched out and showed me more than 60 frames per second when I was only running at 60 or something like that. We just got invited to the fleets. We're only at 53 with 218 local. So I do think there is still some work to be done for Fleet W, but we'll see how that works out. One thing I should probably test, there's a nasty bug when it comes to the tracking camera on TQ at the moment. So if you click on something, you like switch out to a completely different view, and then it slowly recovers. It's very annoying, almost gives you motion sickness. So I'm actually running without the tracking camera, but this is how it's supposed to work, right? I'm in a Dominic's Navy issue, and if I click on a ship, the camera actually turns to put that one in the position I need, and I can change that with, let me see, custom tracking position. Let's put that one a little bit more on the right, and as you can see, that works without the bug. So whatever happened here, that does seem to be working better now. Local coming towards 300. I actually saw this announced on the front page, so I'm a little bit surprised. I think we got like 450 or even more on the last one, but it's all good, of course. No PvP until we do the gate camp thing, and here we've got look at that, Black Aeon. Those still look the best, honestly. Those Black Amar supers, that is amazing in my book. That's really cool. Very, very nice. We are getting ready to start the test, so let's select the gate, because at first it's a mass jump, to see what the effect is on that. Zoomed out, easy 60 frames per second. Fully zoomed in, a little bit less, like 45, something like that. And Sino's actually going off, not sure why that is, but alright. 10 seconds, 3, 2, 1, jumping, and there goes some Sinos. So we are taking the gate. Let's see what kind of a time we receive. 170 seconds, pretty much average for these mass jumps during the mass test. 180, something like that, is what I usually see. And the loading is quite smooth here, so definitely didn't have to wait for 3 minutes in the warp tunnel. And this is always fun to see, all of those Sinos arriving. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Phoenix decloaking. And more carriers, lots of Archons. And there we get a Titan, 2 Titans even, nicely synced and parallel to each other. And here comes a Ragnarok, even longer than the Kaldari one. Pretty cool. So those are the lovely Sinos. The capitals apparently already know to align to the beacon. Let's see if I can find it. Post warping align to. Let's maybe activate some hardeners and stuff. Sentry drones are ready. Align to the beacon, post warping in XBV, so that's what we're doing now. Oh, was that a little hang up? Yeah, a little drop in the frames per second, you can see it right there. So a very slight client hang up right there that I definitely just experienced. We should take note of that. And actually my mouse isn't feeling all that smooth. Let's see if I can find a better spot. That looks okay. So there we go, good amount of battleships I'm seeing here. What is that? A legion. Yeah, take trees, not that many. And we can actually warp, so let's do a warp within 0 on the post warping. Look at the fleets going, that's pretty cool. So this time I'm trailing a little bit. But here comes the warp. Of course, that's not really anything too interesting. We're not getting fleet warps on this one. So that is good. Maybe I should quickly talk about it. During the last mass test, there was a really weird bug where it looked like the client didn't see me on, like the server didn't see me on grid for like a minute or even more. So I saw my ship arriving, but I couldn't do anything. The overview wasn't updating correctly. It was as if I was on an empty grid. And so what actually apparently happened is that I took a fleet warp with capital ships in it, probably also a Titan, but the client didn't see it as a fleet warp, and so it launched me at my full speed, whereas the actual fleet warp was at the speed of the slowest member of the fleet, and as a result I was lagging behind by a minute. At least I'm happy to report that the client didn't crash then, but it was definitely a weird bug, something I had not seen before, and it actually took me like a day. All of a sudden at work I had this eureka moment. Oh, that's right, that's what happened. I actually took a fleet warp. Shoot the control tower, but nothing else. We'll take sentry drones for that. Let's go. Press F. Here we go. That's actually all the guys that warped before me. As you can see, capital ships a little bit slower than me. We'll also activate the target painter if I can. Why is that not happening? You cannot activate that module as interference prevents modules of that type from being used on them. Okay, can't use that on the post, didn't know it. Dreads one siege cycle, no smart bombs. Let's add a little bit of gun firepower, which misses completely. So that's completely useless actually what I'm doing here, so forget about that. And here are the Titans, that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, there's not that many, 263 in local, so my frames per second is quite okay at this point. 20 frames per second, full firing on everyone. I'm not fully zoomed out, so I can actually fully zoom out and still maintain 40. Yeah, 40 pretty much. That's not bad, but honestly, last mass test the client felt very stable compared to the one before. But here I'm of course going to have to attribute some of that to the lower numbers that are actually in the test. People, have I been like bumped out? God, I hope that my drones are still in range, and he is not. Let's see if I can approach that a little bit. That one, alright, 3000. Looks like that one was the furthest one. And so people definitely like the zoomed in view. That was pretty cinematic, a little bit like this, so that's pretty damn cool. You are now still not in range. Slow boating towards it, right in the middle of that whole pack here. So that should be okay if I... Well, god damn it. Well, my 1 sentry drone is actually stuck in the big blob. And we'll see if I can actually pick that one up. Otherwise, it doesn't matter that much. Pretty slow. 78% on the shields. Obviously, there's fewer people, but a bit more stable as well. So even here, zoomed in, 20 frames per second are maintained. All of the lasers going, and the shots from, I guess it's that Titan. I actually feel like I can zoom in on other ships. Yep, there go those big Titan guns. It's, look at that, pretty cool. There go all of the missiles. And then here is that gun doing its work. Oh my god, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool view right there. So those are Titans sieging a boss with, well, a smaller fleet than usual. At least I'm helping a little bit with my drones here. 30 frames per second, no hang-ups so far. During the boss bash, that is. Yeah, those Minmatar guns, I do like the look of that. Let's see him firing again. And then those Kaldari missiles, of course, they look amazing as well. Oh, did he just stop firing? I guess so. Alright. Let's see if I can once again spot him. Maybe approach him. Will that work? Would love to get just a little bit closer, but that Phoenix is in the way. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can actually pick any of them up already. Two of them I can't. You there. So maybe if I try to dive just underneath the Phoenix. Well, that's annoying. That's a way to lose a couple of sentry drones by not moving out of the way on the warping. Well, we still have some time. 50% shields pretty much. So if I can make it, maybe I can grab these. Let's try to bump them a little bit. Maybe also activate my afterburner just to give myself a little bit of speed. Get bumped in there, that would be good. Come on, guy. Come on, Dominic's. Get in there. Get in that fleet and grab me my drones. That's one of them. That's one of them. Good. And that's both of them in here. Alright, now let's see if I can actually move back out of the fleet a little bit. In the meantime, the fleet is doing its thing. So are the Titans. And then some dreads as well. Did I lose my target? Oh, probably mass ECCM or ECM bursts that caused me to lose the target. Seems very likely. Is that a PvP timer? With another capsuleer. Yeah, I think something like that just happened. Well, it's definitely good to... It is not something that is going to destroy a frigate or anything like that. And as a result, I'd say that's a good part of the test. I didn't really notice any problems, just lost the lock. It was gone, and that's it. So we are slowing down. That means I can redeploy my curators and start firing again. 34%, so we are at the hardest point for the shield. But I'd say most of this is still looking quite okay and quite stable. $290 in local, slowly going up. This is a PvE Dominic's Navy issue, so it's not like I've got a point or anything like that. There's actually someone trying to warp scramble. No, we're actually in a mass test. You shouldn't be doing that. Someone was using target spectrum breaker, and CSB Sledgehammer is asking who did it. Well, it wasn't me. Let's do a quick roundabout of the fleet again, but all of this is looking quite okay. %. Anything special to see here? Well, not really, honestly. We're just firing our lasers, our guns, and our missiles at the boss tower. 295, slowly going up to 300, but still that's about a quarter or even more. Between a third and a quarter less, so obviously the boss bash takes a little bit longer. %. And that's one Titan trying to maneuver, but clipping the other one just a little bit. Let's maybe see if I can zoom in on one of my curators. That should be really zoomed in. What's the effect? Still 30 frames per second from that view. It actually looks really cool, like a little laser. There it goes. Shields are down. Bubble is up, which... Ooh, there's actually a jackdaw. And now armor and structure should be a little bit cooler. Yep, curator, pretty cool. Look at that. I like how that looks. And that is definitely going slightly faster. So let's get back on the Dominics. Zoom out. And there it goes. 60% armor will be done here pretty soon. So far, no hiccups, decent performance, nothing too special to report. And that's the armor gone, structure going as well. Let's see, do I really still miss that? What's my optimal? Oh yeah, 13, oh, it's actually because I've got short range ammo. Do I have any long range ammo with me? I'm not sure. I do have, well, I have just about 200 tungsten rounds that I might still be able to fire at the boss. But that's it, so I'll need to reload. Restock on those. Something to remember for TQ, since that should be the same on TQ. Slowly chewing through that structure. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at the explosion. That is just not working. So we're gonna go back to our antimatter, be ready for the bash, for the boss, goddammit, for the gate camp. And here is the explosion. I must say this was a little bit faster than what I'm used to. So usually you do get a bit of a delay between the final shot and the boss actually exploding on the client, but that was pretty smooth. Of course, 300 people in local, no tie-dye, so that could be the reason as well. Now we get to align to the point on gate. So let's align that. And drones are in. Yep. Fleet W, go set up the gate camp. So that's us. There we go. And we can breathe again. Off grid, 60 frames per second. Again, little client hiccup visible here, although I didn't feel it on screen. At least it's not like a complete freeze where you go down to 5 frames per second or even 0. So this is still okay. Just I noticed 2 of them so far. Let's also see if I can actually arrive on grid and then do something. Now let's drink a little bit. So at least we're landing with fleet mates this time. Underneath 2 typhoons, or 1 typhoon and 1 navy issue. And we're actually jumping. So I'm pretty sure that that was that. Why the hell is there already a rock here? Malediction, a jackdaw as well. They're bound to get shot at pretty soon. Is that? Cool Gila. Very cool ship. Let's see what Agent Unknown has chosen. Just a standard Thanatos, I think. Typhoon, couple Archons. Here's his people. I'm still cloaked, so we can wait. Looks pretty cool, and then when it goes vertical, definitely a unique animation on this vehicle that I do like. Although I'm going for the Hecate or Hecate, the Galente one myself, as something that I would fly in some of the combat signatures. And what's our fleet numbers at? 83. We had 300 in local, so I do think that Fleet W might be in trouble decently quickly. They're already attacking the rock here. Let's see if we can do anything to help out. No, he's actually already down. Anything else that's actually being shot at? Hugin. Well, they're either unaffiliated. Fleet X is gonna go to the gate, but yeah, this of course 60 frames per second with only our fleet here. Local is at 79, fleet at 83, so around 80 people. That feels about as smooth as it gets. Here's an Archon and a Paladin as well. Who are they shooting at? Vargists. Capsule is gone. Here's the Paladin. Does look like he's getting fired at. And with that icon, oh, he's actually, yep, he actually left right there. Here's a Hyperion from Apple Juice at 30 kilometers. Can I actually find him here? Yep, in a capsule now. So they're already cutting down all of the neutrals pretty quickly here. What about the Archon? Yeah, he's actually being attacked as well. Well, this could be a good range for my guards to help out. Let's see if we can do anything. Archon adding a little bit of fire. Since Fleet X is still holding, we can probably get rid of that Archon. Boom, he's down. And there's the wreck. Pretty cool, pretty smooth as well. Let's start moving a little bit. Just so that I've got my my speed up here. Yeah, you don't want to be early or without a fleet when you jump into Poitot. And Fleet X will be jumping in and fighting. So let's deploy some... Oh, I actually only have 2 ogres, really? That's annoying. Maybe we'll just use some smalls and see if we can go after some small targets. Tie-dye? Yeah, tie-dye is coming in on the jump here. A little bit, not too much. So there we go, small drones are here. Wreck. Oh, let's remove Rex from overview. Vindicator, that's quite big. In a Dramiel. Let's see. He's already gone, I guess. Varger. Battleships also pretty big. Naga Oracle. Capsule. Alright, here we go. Let's see if that Dramiel can actually be hit by my small drones. That could be good damage then. Let's also add our own guns. Let's see if we can actually see anything. Well, not a lot of damage notifications. So he's actually too fast probably for my drones. Let me see, Gila could be a good target, although I'd want some bigger drones on that, I think. Here comes the bubbles. There's actually Tengu already firing at me, so that's not very good. You know what? Let's orbit that one at 2,500 meters. Activate this. That one just died. And then let's see if my guns can actually do anything. Let's also activate this. And maybe do a quick return here. Drop something bigger. What can I drop? Come on, get back. A couple of ogres. Time dilation is gone. So that's already very good news. Medium drones are next. And then everyone, yep, on that Gila. That's pretty close. Half armor. Do I overload my rack? Yeah, I'll just do a quick overload, hopefully. Yeah, on the bottom rack. Let's see if that actually does anything. In the meantime, let's see if we can actually break his shields. So keep firing. Threat dude in the Gila against my Dominix that is now fully overheated. Will probably not last too long, so there's bound to be other things shooting at me as well. But this is going okay, still 20 frames per second. We're right in the middle of the start of the fight, so probably the heaviest fighting that we'll be doing. His shields are down, and that's big chunks of armor, so that's lovely. Let's gamble that he actually has like most of the DPS, and so get rid of that, and there we go. That's the Gila down. Lovely, lovely. Anything else? I'm not seeing anything really counter targeting me, so let's check out that one and let's hope that I can actually claw back a little bit of armor. What else could we target? Vindicator, Phoenix, all of that is pretty damn big. Demos maybe? There is the Jackdaw. Let's engage that. And am I ripping back? Maybe just a little bit. Couple hits. He's actually active shield rep. Actively repping with his shields here. Can any of my drones? A few hits here. But very strong shield repping on that Jackdaw. I'm slowly coming back though, so that's pretty good. Frames per second, 18, 19, something like that during the fight. You can also see on the screen that a lot is happening. And there's the Jackdaw. sometimes he takes good hits. He's got probably an ASB or something. Let's see if he can actually keep up with it or escape from me. Where the hell is he actually? Oh, he's right over there. I'm of course completely missing with my guns, but at least my drones are doing decent damage once in a while. Ogres aren't hitting anything though. Well, boom, there he goes. Actually, that one is done. Next up we've got a Demos. Let's see if we can take care of that one. And yeah, we're coming back. My PvE fit, my PvE fit Dominic is actually coming back. So there's the Demos, and what else? A Proteus, pretty strong and tanky, but we could try after that if this works. Look at that. If you experience any bugs, okay, not seen any real bugs so far. So that one has been cut down as well. Proteus is next. Let's do an approach order on him. And we are still repping. Looks like I'm actually cap stable, so I'm just gonna keep repping. Golem, Phoenix, anything else that I could try to take out pretty quickly? An Ishtar right there, maybe? And there we go, Proteus actually in armor. Now if I can approach him, we may actually be able to do something with the guns as well. Let's do orbit at 2500. We're actually right in range of him. He is fighting back. So we're actually getting into fights with some cruisers. I may really want to switch to that Ishtar though, because that's probably gonna go down a bit better than a Tech 3. That's really, that can have a very heavy tank. Let's see if we can actually hit that. Ooh, someone is targeting one of my hammerheads. Well done. Unfortunately, I've got more. Oh, and one of my ogres as well. Well, that's alright. We still have more drones in reserve. Looks like that Proteus is actually working on my drones here. Smart move. Well, I'm gonna let him keep doing that. In the meantime, that Ishtar is being cut down. There is no survey. Please use the mass test forum thread for general feedback. Alright, well, so far everything is going quite well. We're actually back up to 22 frames per second. And some stuff is slowly dying. We're back on the Proteus. Not sure. Well, he actually just got back into distance. Let's do the capsule. Let's do the Balgor next, maybe. See if we can hit that one. Tie-dye. Nope, no tie-dye, so that's pretty good. So there go the drones. Let's get off of the Proteus, who is running away, and start firing on the Balgorn. Did lose another drone, so we'll just use a small one. This is just a mass test after all, for specific feature feedback. That's bound to be about like the new features. I'm afraid that one is actually receiving a lot of reps. So it's all a matter of until I actually get targeted and primaried. And I do get the feeling that my fleet is slightly in a minority looking at the overview here. Any better targets for me? Well, maybe I could try sending... Finally, a Vindicator is targeting me, so I do think that this will go a little bit more quickly. Maybe I can send a couple pods home. Hopefully that can actually help them out. Ooh, beautiful wreck right there. That. Let's get back in on the Balgorn. Alright, there's a pot to pot. That's lovely Doomsdays going off. And I lost all my locks for some reason. Everyone I think is losing their locks. And those are some really big explosions right next to me, but I'm not feeling the client hang up or anything like that, so good test. I'm taking a little bit of damage. So that's the Vindicator doing his thing. Let's just target him. Let's see if we can actually... And there's a couple pots as well that we might want to try. Vindicator orbits. It's probably a big mistake to orbit him that closely. But who knows? If I get some help... I'm afraid we're down too many pilots though. Yeah, we definitely are, because now he's going pretty fast. Look at that. Where is the gate? And there we go. That's my battleship down. Or it should be. Oh no, I still have the structure to go. So that's all of that. Aha, there is the gate. God damn it, I actually lost the gate there for a second. We don't seem to be that far off it. He's a little bit in structure, but of course Vindicator much stronger than my Dominic's Navy issue. Love the burning effect here. Look at that. Really cool. The fact that I'm in structure and that I'm burning like that. That's really nice. Final shots fired by my guns. And there she drifts, lights out, because we've just been destroyed. And then let's try to get in on the XBV gate. A slight hiccup as well, but that's usually what happens. When you lose your ship, you know, the server has to put you back on grid in a new ship. In this case, your bot. Recalculate everything, so a small hiccup is normal. What? Oh, come on. Let's just wait that one out in 24 seconds. Orbit 1000. And once that's done, we'll jump. But yeah, lovely rigs. 24 frames per second, really close in on the combat, and no real problems or anything like that to report, no client hiccups. Oh, I'm actually getting sent home. Thank you very much for that express back to the station. And there you go, guys. That's it for this mass test. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.